Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Yes. When you hear that tune, you already know what time it is. It is time for Newspaper Review, and I'm delighted to welcome you to today's edition of Newspaper Review on High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Sarah Oswanta, and this is the first time we'll be coming on the show in the month of April. Let us say happy new month to you. We're done with the first quarter of the year. Another quarter as coming already, and a lot of things to go into retrospect on, a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to, analyze so far. It's the third day in the month of April, and I'm not going to be doing the program alone today. Hello, Esther.
Hello, good morning, Sarah. Glad to have you back here on the
Thank you.
Newspaper Review. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria, and good morning to the world. This new month, I would have loved to say that these are my expectations, but I would just say I have a lot of prayers. I just wish that Nigeria would experience a new turnaround. That's really all. But so far so good. It seems like every new week ushers in a new episode of a new kind of
Political brouhaha.
I don't want to call it drama, but this weekend was. It was drama.
Well, it was drama, yeah. And one thing that is trending on the papers today, I'm sure you've seen it, is this leaked conversation, the leaked audio, and it has generated quite a lot of controversy.
Yes,
and it seems to be there are like different sides to it. This particular body is coming out to say, oh, this is the intention, this is what it meant. And then another person is coming out to say, oh, no, this is what it meant. It was meant to trigger this and that. And amongst the number of things. And this is a time where the country as a whole is just trying to come out of some sort of heat, some sort of ethnic and we've been having conversations about ethnic diversity, ethnic profiling, amongst other things, and having this conversation, the Guardian newspaper even puts it as a religious war. They put the bar to that story as a religious war. But when you got the update of the story, Esther, coming up days after the presidential, over a month after the presidential elections, how did you react to it?
Well, I feel that this is, yesterday I was on a call with Krumale, and I was telling him that it looks like the talk on politics has really gone down. It might not be something that is very popular these days in the news. And by the time I got home to ask my cousin, hey, what's happening on Twitter? It was like, oh, there's been this conversation. Go check it out yourself. So when I saw it, I felt like I shouldn't be too quick to admit or to say that conversations around politics have faded out of the news. So it looks like as long as there are oppositions existing, we are going to keep seeing debates, conversations, arguments, interactions coming up. So some people have not relented. They've not accepted that, the election has come and gone.
There was this particular story I saw over the weekend. I think it was on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm not really too sure, about a particular man who was taking off an airline
Yeah, and
because
that's as
he
well.
was, according to reports, his comment was talking about the fact that the president-elect should not be sworn in on the 29th of May. It will cause some sort of violence.
That's
and it will
another
be,
thing.
And, according to what the videos I saw, he was really, clamoring, and security officials he delayed the flight for over an hour. He refused to sit and all that, and security officials had to get him off board and all that. But this is a very, very special time, I must say, in Nigeria.
Yes.
And it's just careful. It's just important that you're careful, even with your opinion, with your own beliefs.
Yeah.
Be careful about how you relay them. But there are some
Especially publicly.
especially public, But there are some other stories, as President Buhari, Vice President Osibajo, as well as 28 other governors and ministers, begin to are set to begin asset declaration owing to the end of their tenure, as well as the governors are set to meet with EFCC, ICPC, FIRS, and CBN on security votes. Also, President-elect Tinubu to decide subsidy removal date after inauguration. These and other stories are some of the stories making the rounds on the front page of the Dailies this morning. You can be a part of the conversation. The phone lines will be open right after this break. Call us on 0700-1021-1021. I take that again. Call us on 0700-1021-1021. Send a WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018. We're streaming live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM and on Twitter at High Impact 1021 FM.
Yes, indeed. Sarah has mentioned all the numbers and how you can connect with us. We're due for a break.
Yes,
when
we
we come back, we would read out the headlines from these papers: the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, and Daily Trust newspaper. Do well to let us know your top story for today. We'll be right back.
Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Welcome back to your urban lifestyle station. If you are just joining us, it is High Impact 102.1 FM, and we are on the newspaper review this morning. We're starting with the Punch newspaper. Says end of tenure, Buhari, Osibajo, and 28 governors, ministers to begin asset declaration. This is on page 2 with 2 riders. Outgoing public office holders must declare assets by May 29. That's according to CCB officials. President-elect Tinubu Shetima, 28 incoming governors get CCB form this month. Away from that, you can see that this Sunday was the Palm Sunday for Christians out there. You could see how it was celebrated in different parts of Nigeria. And Pope Kaigama preached love service as Christians observe Palm Sunday. That is also on the front page. Ramadan, why the aged may abstain from fasting, is also on the front page. 22-year-old Ogun lady found dead in room boyfriend held. Now that's pretty.
There needs to be an explanation to that.
Yes, there really needs to be an explanation to that. For our friends who drive from Lagos Ibadan, drive along Lagos Ibadan Expressway, typically I have this sympathy towards those who have to make that trip in and outside Lagos every day. But yesterday there was a situation, and this morning it's on the front page of the Punch newspaper. tanker fire worsens Lagos-Ibadan Expressway gridlock. If you're listening to us from that end, do well to let us know what the situation is, if the road is free, if you're in traffic.
Yesterday I was actually on my way home. I wasn't planning that route when I got the update. This was about 4:35, 4:40 thereabout p.m. And I had to reach out to a friend who was just on his way home, and I'm like, what's up? And he says, they had to park because it's actually a lot.
Wow.
That they had to park for some time, then eventually plan another route. But according to eyewitness reports, the collision took place between a petrol-laden tanker and an SUV, a sport utility vehicle. And according to reports, the vehicle apparently swerved, had overtaken some cars. It was on top speed, and while he was trying to go back to his lane, the tanker was already on that lane, and that led to the accident. But from the reports we are getting, no casualty, no life was lost, and the fire was eventually contained. But we hope that we know how the traffic is usually.
That's the thing.
I was on that road on Saturday. I had something to attend to around the Redemption City.
Okay.
And I was coming back in the evening. This was about 5:36, and the traffic was. The map was even saying 2 hours to get to Berger bus stop.
From Redemption?
No, from, I don't know if you know this Arekbo.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I know
it was showing 2 hours, but eventually it took about 4 hours 30 minutes.
I don't. But that's a regular. It's not up to 30 minutes on a.
And then
on a very
those
good
that
day.
were going from Lagos, to Ibafo.
Oh,
I saw the traffic. This traffic started at about. Do you know this? Before you get to Opik, straight down to Bagada.
I think it got into Lagos.
It got into Lagos down to Bagada. The road was blocked.
Yeah, it got into
when
Lagos.
we now get updates like this about how an accident has happened on that road, you start to wonder, with this traffic already on this road.
This Saturday's traffic was without an accident.
It was without an accident.
So
it's the construction that is ongoing that caused some sort of traffic.
I mean, my heart goes out if it's affecting you, because how somebody's driving on the road can affect the entire city. I mean, this is just what it is. But let us know what the situation is if you're listening along that axis. You can send us a message 0907 224 5018 or call us 0700 1021 1021. If you're watching us live, you can leave a comment on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM, on Twitter at High Impact 1021 FM. Away from that, federal government to demolish Lagos Airport jet hangars April 15. NGX suspends a bank sharing trade, and Chinese loans rise by 209% under President Buhari. Do well to let us know your top story this morning, but that's as much as we can take on the front page of the Punch newspaper.
Zero 1021 is the number to call. 07001021 is the number to call. Send a WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018. To the Guardian newspaper very quickly this morning. On the front page, religious war, that's how Guardian newspaper puts it. Obi's leaked phone call with Oyedepo raises dust. The writer to that story says leaked audio on Obi Oyedepo deepfake, says Labour Party campaign. Okonkwo audio taken out of context. This is also another side to it. Obi spokesman blames NCC for leaked audio. I have never campaigned for any politician, says Bishop Oyedepo. And the last writer says, Nnamani, Obi introduced religious and ethnic politics. These are the stories on these are the writers to that story, which we'll get into the details in a moment. You get details of that story on the front page and also on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Above that, 28 women die daily of cervical cancer in Nigeria. That's something you should note. 28 women die daily of cervical cancer in Nigeria. It's important to check yourself often and also take all precautionary measures. That's a page 3 read. Investors gained 2.54 trillion naira in first quarter as market dams political risk. And that's in Finance and Economy, page 21. How underfunding, abuse, mar master plans in universities and polytechnics. You might want to read that up. On the foreign scene, ICC's arrest warrant on Putin and issues of enforceability. As a world report, you get details on page 41. Just like the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper also has how Christians across the world celebrated Palm Sunday on yesterday in preparation for Easter. For the fans of Big Brother Nigeria, Kosi wins first BB Titans. You want to read that up. And lastly, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, Pope celebrates Palm Sunday Mass after hospital stay. Defends the abandoned. You get details on page 6, and those are the headlines on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
Zero 1021 That's the number to call. 0907-224-5018. That's where you can leave us a message. We're live on Twitter at High Impact 1021 FM, on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM. Let's move now to the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper starts with governors meet with EFCC, ICPC, FIRS, CBN on security votes. 10th National Assembly leadership power block strategize awaits Tinubu's return. Leaked audio. I never campaigned for any politician. That's according to Bishop Oyedepo. Don't abort democracy. Onitiri advises politicians. Let's see how much more we can take. Lagos PDP crisis. Bode George remains our leader. That's according to the party elders. SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, begins registration of consultant practitioners on compliance assessments. Retirees warn against exclusion from sale of railway staff quarters. Grounded airlines. I think I'd already taken that story on another paper. Let's see how much more we can take. Why NNPP didn't perform well in election. That's according to Kwakwanso, and that's you can get more details on the Vanguard newspaper. Do well to let us know your top story this morning. 0700-1021-1021. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Do well to call us back 0700-1021-1021. Let us know your top story. If you are driving along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, let us understand the situation from your point of view. How is the traffic like? I trust that the tanker should have been moved by now, and if it has not been moved, you can also let us know what the situation is this morning, or let us know your top story from the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, the Vanguard newspaper. But that's as much as we can take on the Vanguard newspaper this morning before we take a break.
Yes, keep the calls coming in. Do not forget 0700-1021-1021. Send a WhatsApp message 0907-224-5018. Well, you have to take the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We would let's give you updates on the Daily Trust paper. Ripples over Obi's religious war phone conversation with Oyedepo. The writers say leaked audio authentic. That's according to LP. It's fake, says Obidati Media Office. I've never campaigned for politicians. That's coming from Bishop Oyedepo. Tinubu's campaign has said Obi's presidential ambition dead. We're studying the situation. That's coming from CAN, NSCIA, and JNI. And the last writer says weaponizing religion dangerous. This is from Sheikh Khalid Namani and Professor Kari. This particular story here is one of the stories where if you're not careful, you could be thrown off guard. It's one of the stories that, has different sides to it.
Okay.
Even internally, there are different updates
To this
particular story. I recall that when I was reading up the story, I'm trying to get that part out so that I'm speaking based on the information that we have. Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a member, has come out to say that the audio is authentic. However, the Obidati Media Office veteran broadcaster in person of Dinro Onifade has said it is a deepfake audio.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Concerning the traffic, I'm Benedict calling from away.
All right, Benedict, please go ahead.
Concerning the traffic at Lagos Ibadan Expressway, so I'm living at Mowe, working at Magboro. So this morning the road is free. There is no traffic. So the vehicles are moving. So no traffic over here.
Thank you, Benedict, for allaying our fears. I mean,
Thank
I
you,
would,
Benedict.
if I had any reason to go to that direction, I would cancel it if he didn't give us this information. Thank you.
Yesterday they assured us that the situation had been handled, and it's Monday. People would want to get to work early. So, hello, good morning. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Fred.
Fred, where are you calling us from?
Yeah. Calling from Ikeja.
All right, Fred, please go ahead.
We are talking about weaponizing religion. Well, let APC first tell themselves the truth now. Look at their political. In fact, APC is like an Islamic party. So why are they trying to say Obi is weaponizing religion? Look at their current president, the chairman of the party, and their president-elect. Which religion they are practicing?
Fred, we would like you to understand that this is a very sensitive time, and the use of certain words.
Yeah.
We cannot come out to say that a particular political party belongs to a particular religion. It is not stated anywhere. There's no political party that is affiliated or assigned to a religion whatsoever. So we need to get that straight.
But look at their party now.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
I think we need to let people understand the fact that these are the things we're saying. There are certain comments and there are certain statements you make that incites violence, makes the atmosphere very tense. Saying that political parties belong to or are affiliated or are religious inclined is not an appropriate thing to say, because there is no political party that is that you can say is attached to a religion whatsoever. It doesn't work that way. So we need to get that clear and sorted. But then 0907-224-5018, send your WhatsApp messages to 0700-1021-1021 is the number to call. Before we take a break, let's quickly wrap up with the Daily Trust newspaper. FCTA sends 117 beggars back to Katsina, Kano, Kebbi, and others. You get details on page 14. Over 80,000 Nigerians require heart surgeries every year. That's coming from experts. Bandits kill 7 farmers, abduct 26 in Niger State, pick 2 students at university hostel in Zamfara. Banditry, insurgency, back on the dailies. Furore over Kano governors elect public advisory. You get details on that. 133 billion naira hangers to give way for MMIA apron expansion. That's a page 23. Read on the Daily Trust newspaper. Post-election violence. Police arrest 17 more suspects in Zamfara State. That's a page 21. Read. And lastly, on the front page, federal government deploys 12 billion naira fire trucks to Lagos, Kano, Abuja airports. Details on page 38 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Hello, please turn off your radio. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from. I think this person is not ready for us.
Yes, when you call us, please turn off your radio or turn down the volume completely so that we can have a smooth conversation. 07001021 is the number to call. Send a WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018. We'll be back to take your calls and your messages, but we need to take a breather now. We'll be back in a moment.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
Call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're still listening to Newspaper Review on High Impact 102.1 FM. And Esther and I are still here. We've taken a look at the front pages of The Punch, The Guardian, The Vanguard, as well as the Daily Trust newspaper. And do well to let your calls come in. Let us know your top story, or you like to give us an update on whatever situation it is. 0700 1021 is the number to call. Send a WhatsApp message to 0907 224 5018. We're streaming live on Twitter at High Impact 1021 FM and on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM.
Yes, indeed. There are top stories here that that is getting so much attention. But first of all, I would love to say that concerning the leaked audio story, we have decided to make sure that we are not the judge or the jury. My concern is how much fake news or disinformation has gotten into our system, so that even if it is real, how do we know if it is fake? How do we know? You know, you and I as journalists, typically we work with reports, we work with correspondents, we work with eyewitness reports. But now that technology is in the game, how do we challenge the world that we're living in? Artificial intelligence has been used to do so much. As a matter of fact, just yesterday on LinkedIn, I saw a post, and I have always admired this particular person's post because I felt like he was showcasing the elderly Africans. It felt like he had a model. I thought he's a photographer, right? A professional photographer. So he displays pictures, professional pictures of senior citizens. I mean, black senior citizens, and they always look beautiful. Until I saw in the comments where someone wrote, that this person used artificial intelligence to promote the beauty of. I'm like, you mean these pictures I've been celebrating all these months are not even real people?
Technology seems to be taking a very different form right now.
So I felt like, okay, this is something that normally, I don't know if this happens to you. When there is news, when there is anything in the news, even if it's with a paper or a media house that I don't belong to, my family members depend on me. to give them the they'll ask, is this real? Is this information true? There are times where I just sit and I know that this is fake news. But now it has gotten to the point where the tech space has taken over some aspects of information. Matter of fact, we went on the news last week, the Archon event was aired. At that event, the stakeholders kept repeating something that kept me concerned. They said, everyone is a journalist as long as you have a phone, even though not licensed. Even though not licensed.
That's what it is. And then they'll say citizen journalism.
Yeah, even though not licensed. Because when we went through the elections and all of that, there was we as journalists got a lot of, what's the word now? This INEC rules, NBC codes. We went through
that needed to guide
conferences.
Us that process.
Thank you. We went to events. We went to conferences, workshops where we're told what to do and what not to do, and how we must. One of the instructions I can never forget is never to use your polling a result from a polling unit to judge the outcome, the entire result. So as a journalist, it was difficult to publish anything on my WhatsApp status and say, at the polling units where I observed, this is what I got, or this is what I saw. And people around me ask me, how was it at your polling unit? I say, this was the result at my polling unit. However, I cannot use that to judge. But not everyone.
Some people just had a phone and they were all out, because they do not have an understanding of what guides this reportage.
Yes.
They do not have an understanding of what guides the conduct of journalists, especially at this point in time. I recall times my mom or somebody would just reach out to me and say, I saw this online, and then they will send me the link or the screenshot, and I'm like, this is not even true. So it felt like so much news was in the atmosphere, and if you're not careful, you would not know which is actually true.
But I'm also thinking, our journalists, our media houses, our newspaper, outlets, are they not being used to play as tools as well? Because, like I told you, we come on air every week, and there is a new twist to something that has happened in politics, and it seems like. Where you're watching a movie and you think this is the climax, this is it, this movie is about to end.
It's just getting started,
and you just see that there is a new, and they tell you watch out for season 2. So is the media not becoming a place for a tool for politics, for opposition parties to use as means to freely express their desires? Because normally when I'm coming on air on Monday morning, I don't know what I'll see in the papers until I see the papers, right? So I don't have an agenda from home until I see what's in the news. And sometimes you would think that the Naira situation has gone down,
and then suddenly just see it on
the dailies. Last week we were talking fuel subsidy.
No, funny enough, there's still a conversation around fuel subsidy where the president-elect is to decide the subsidy removal date after his inauguration. So let's say, first subsidy is still making the news, but however, the petrol price has not really been on the dailies, like how people are getting petrol. Even the cash situation seems to be getting better.
I withdrew money.
The conversation.
Friday nights, I actually just went to the ATM to make a transfer. I wasn't expecting cash, but the person beside me, I just heard that money counting. So I called people at home. How far? There's cash here. Do you need?
I've actually seen ATMs dispensing, and most times at night the queue is not usually a lot.
There was nobody there. I was the only one
at night. It has actually gotten better, and then I know POS operators around me are still collecting 100 naira on 1,000 naira.
Oh, that's dropped, Sarah. Updates. 300 naira per 5,000, and this one was even complaining that people were just walking out on him. That hold your cash.
We've not started yet.
We are not there yet.
Before they used to take 100 naira on 5,000 naira.
Yes.
We are going back to that. If not even less.
Are you sure it will not be 50 naira?
That's what I was saying. If not even less.
But let's get into some of these papers and let's see what's happening. 10th National Assembly leadership, power blocks strategize, await Tinubu's return. That is how the Vanguard newspaper puts it this morning. If you're listening to us, if you're just tuning in, it's the newspaper review on your urban lifestyle station, and trust me, the the conversation about fake news, disinformation, deep fake is coming up on record. There is time for that. We are allotting that space to someone who is an expert, who is going to give us more understanding of that. So if you think that we're not talking about it, trust me, we'll give you the headlines. You join on record and you get more details. Yeah. But for this particular headline, 10th National Assembly leadership, power block strategize, awaits Tinubu's return. 17 men, 1 woman jostle for Senate president and rep speaker. Very, very important. Sarah, the Senate presidency, let me even go into the details. The jostling of the Senate presidency and speakership of the House of Representatives assumed a new gear weekend as power blocks in the ruling All Progressive Congress worked on their strategies to get the posts while awaiting the return of President-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu from vacation. Let me continue with the riders. Abiodun Zulum Adeleke Aliero back Deputy Speaker for speakership, and now there's been this call. In fact, not this call. There's something about Senate leadership and Orji Uzor Kalu that has been in the news for a while now. Yeah. And I don't want to now throw that question out, but a lot of people have been talking about his ambition to come out and say that he wants to take that position. I mean, he made it very clear. He went to President Muhammadu Buhari. He clearly stated his opinion, so it wasn't like he was hiding it. But the reaction hasn't been entirely, I don't want to say favorable for him, but it doesn't seem like most of his people want him there. What I have been guessing firsthand, I mean, listening to people talk about it, following what's happening on social media, well, a lot of people seem like he's not coming to represent them from the East. Seems like he's coming for his own. That is their opinion. But this is a time to maybe use feedback nicely. That's just what people might think, that this feedback might be used or may not be used. But Orji Uzor Kalu came in, into the news and said that he wants to take up that particular position. But let's see how it goes. That's not left to those who are sharing their opinions to decide.
Yes. But then there's this conversation around security votes.
Yes.
How governors, EFCC, ICPC, FIRS, are to meet on Tuesday, the 4th of April.
Yeah.
Over the security votes, and I'll just take the story very quickly. Where controversy surrounding management of security votes by governors is subject matter of a meeting between the state chief executives, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences tomorrow. Other agencies that will be part of the parley governed by the Nigeria Governors Forum at the instance of Nigeria Financial Intelligence include the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, the gathering, according to an invitation issued by the NGF Director General Ashisha Nabayo Okauru, would be virtual. And this meeting would also consider deepening management and expansion of the nation's cashless policy.
Okay.
But then let your calls, do well to let your calls keep coming in. 0700-1021-1021 is the number to call. Send a WhatsApp message to 0907-224-5018.
Surprisingly, the Punch newspaper this morning is telling us that the tanker fire worsens Lagos-Ibadan expressway gridlock. Even though, was that Benedict that told us that he lives at Mowe and works at Magboro? I feel like that distance is pretty short.
Well, most times this incident took place on the Long Bridge.
On the Long Bridge, that's the distance. It's still ahead.
But most times when this traffic begins, it usually extends towards Arepo, Magboro. But then it will still be nice to get someone who has gone, let's say, towards Kara, towards Opik, to let us know what the situation is like as well. But then we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Chidi. Calling from Ikeja. I stay in Magoro, and I just came to work this morning.
Okay. Can you bring us up to speed?
The fire happened last night, and that is outbound Lagos, inbound Magoro.
Mm-hmm.
It's been turned off. The truck is still there, but it's not impairing traffic. So that report is probably for last night.
Okay.
But this morning that I passed, everywhere is free. The only place you have traffic is from Kara to Otedola, and that's due to the construction happening there.
Okay, great.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chidi.
Coming out of Lagos is free all the way to Maguro.
That's a lot of good news this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chidi.
We appreciate that update. So that really should be coming from yesterday, because this report is even telling us that they gathered that the incident happened at about 4:30 p.m. So that definitely is from yesterday. So if you are on the road, I don't know if you can still give the excuse of coming late because of that. Sorry. So sorry. We did not mean to spoil your plans. But he said whatever traffic there is due to the construction and not the accident anymore. But there is still so much on the papers. Let's see how much we can take before the day is over. End of tenure, Buhari, Oshibajo, 28 governors, ministers to begin assets declaration. Quick read. The first rider says outgoing public office holders must declare assets by May 29. That's according to CBB official. Have you ever wondered why there's an importance for this? Is there any need to declare assets? I mean,
I think it's something that has been stipulated.
Okay.
It's a process that has to be done.
Yeah.
It's something that
you get richer when you got into office?
Let us know. Lay it bare.
Right.
Let's see it. And it's not a thing of negotiation. It has been stipulated, and they just have to follow. They must declare their assets by 29.
It's really worth discussing this so that we are able to understand precedents and maybe those that brought a need for this.
It also helps us do some sort of survey. It helps us do some sort of evaluation. As well. Let us see. It's like a progress sheet. Let us see your.
So it's politics supposed to make you, if you're coming to declare assets, is politics supposed to make you richer or poorer? This is sounding like an on-record conversation. I think I would, already taking. No, I will recommend it. No, I'll recommend it for the team. Maybe it's worth discussing, because that's one thing that attracts people to office. Coming into office and you're thinking that look at all the. To
them it's so much
the convoy,
yes, so much enjoyment.
When you are coming, there's so much security,
has so much benefits. So that's why some people go into politics for the very wrong reasons.
Yeah, maybe if those things are removed, maybe there'll be no need for asset declaration. If you came in broke and you're leaving broke, well,
would you even to think of the amount that is even pegged to buy these forms? Is something.
Well, they say they didn't buy it. They say things like it was contributed. Their supporters, their followers bought it for them.
Absolutely.
They made a huge contribution to pay 100 million
naira to get the farm.
Yeah. So that really can be on them. If it was a gift, it can be on me, really.
Well, for them, if people can go as far as contributing 100 million to buy a farm for you, then I want to believe that they can go as far as ensuring that if you go into office, you're going to be very comfortable, you're going to be very okay.
That's another. But I know for the US, there is a limit to how much you can, how much gifts you can, the value of gifts you can actually collect in that office. It's a public office, so it's like, I think I've heard the guest say, it's once you get into a public office, your life is in public. There's really nothing, there's so little that you can do in private, maybe your personal business or your family business. But when it has to do with the money you spend, the life you live, everything you do, it's now in public. And in fact, let's even understand what is attracting people to public offices, because if you have a leadership position coming on you and the capacity, the impact that you need to make for these people to make life easy for them, if you're a real leader, I think most times there's going to be the concern of, can I deliver? can I achieve this thing? Can I do this thing? But when I see campaign and all of that, I see these people as they are very happy. It seems like, I don't know.
Well,
it seems like there's a joy.
They just have to declare their assets. This is in line with the 1999 Constitution, actually.
Okay.
And every of them is to get the form from the Code of Conduct Bureau, which is the CCB,
yeah.
and also declare their assets. So it's not something they can say, oh no, we don't. It is a constitutional thing. It complies with the provision of the Constitution, and this stipulates that all the public officers will declare their assets and their liabilities on the assumption of office and at the end of their tenure.
Okay.
So it's not debatable. It can't be contended.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. I know I'm seeing also that the president-elect and vice president and 28 incoming governors and their cabinet members as well as state assembly members have 3 months to submit their assets forms to the Code of Conduct Bureau. But it's really something that we believe was put in place to make checks and balances work well for us. But so far so good. That's what we have in that headline. Let's see how much more we can take on the papers this morning before we go. Do you have any story there?
Well, we've not taken this story about subsidy removal.
Okay.
President-elect Tinubu to decide subsidy removal date after inauguration. This is coming from the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, saying the incoming administration of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will decide the date the first subsidy will be removed. Now, though the regime of the President Muhammadu Buhari said the subsidy policy would end by June, when the budget for the initiative would lapse, however, the chief spokesperson for the APC-PCC, Festus Keyamo, on Sunday noted that the next government will determine the terminal date for the subsidy regime. Now, I know that there has been some sort of back and forth in regards to this. However, this report also says that there has been apprehension over the planned removal of subsidy, with marketers and other stakeholders projecting that the development may push fuel prices to 750 naira per litre. I saw this and I was very worried.
Fuel price
to 750.
The 185 naira per litre to 750
naira per litre if the subsidy is removed. And this should be a concern, as linking this to what Ipman said, that no to subsidy. They are saying no to subsidy removal without domestic refining, saying that this would make the situation a bit worse. Now, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, that's Ipman, insisted that it was opposed to the removal of subsidy on petrol only if the country fails to refine the product locally. Now, they explained that with the government importing all the petrol consumed in the country, removing the over 3.5 trillion naira subsidy would expose Nigerians to arbitrary pricing. That's also a concern we should be looking at. They said that refining in the country should be the government's priority. Stressing that any decision on petrol subsidy removal should be left for the income. So right now we need to look at refining inside, locally refining petrol, so that when if and when the subsidy is removed, we do not get to be buying for a very exorbitant rate.
Yes, indeed. Even the dependency on fuel is something that is becoming a conversation that people, even though it's not so loud in Nigeria, it is becoming loud in other parts of the world. Electric cars, and I think the demand for petrol is really what is making that amount in the news. Hearing 700 and what's that for a liter, that's pretty high. How much? You can't use a liter of fuel to do most things. Even if you want to just power your house, even if you want to, maybe to charge your phone, but it might not go so far in the generator or whatever you're using. And if electricity is stable, trust me, Sarah, there might be less need for petrol. I don't know about electric cars for now in Nigeria. For now, we will get there. As much as we're discussing this, there's a generation that electric cars will just be a norm, for them. Just as we now use smartphones and we have moved on. I don't know how soon electric cars will become a thing in Nigeria. But till then, refining locally has been the best what's the word now, recommendations that experts have said. A lot of people have given their opinions that if we don't refine locally, let's not remove the subsidy for now. Also, there is also the concern that subsidy has been used to scam us over a long period.
This conversation of subsidy has been years. Esther.
Yes, it's been
years where we've been hearing, we'll take off the subsidy.
Yes.
Oh no, we should not. And at a point, sincerely, I became very. What's the word? I became very indecisive. Like, there was so much going on. Today you are hearing, we are taking off the subsidies, and tomorrow you come on and you see, no, we're not. And at the point, I just lost interest. Like,
in that, right?
I'm like, no. This cannot keep happening. It was a thing for years.
Yeah.
But now it seems like the conversation is really coming to play.
Yeah.
But if
the time is getting closer.
If experts are saying that as a nation we need to focus more right now on refining locally, in-house refining, so that if and when the subsidy is taken off, we do not start to get petrol at the rate of 750 naira per litre. I think we should actually look into that before making any decision. Because I don't think Nigerians want to deal with. I don't personally. Sarah Owusu-Ansah cannot deal with buying petrol for that rate.
Well, it's 7:55 and it's been a beautiful conversation.
Our producer is already looking at this. Hello, what's going on?
Okay, would call it a wrap, but you do well to let us know. Our social media is not calling it a wrap. You can send your messages on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM, on Twitter at High Impact 1021 FM. Leave us a message on our social media platforms. Our WhatsApp lines are always open, 0907 224 5018. Like I told you earlier, the conversation about the audio leak, deep fake news, disinformation will be coming up on record at 9 a.m. So stay tuned for that conversation. Till I see you next time, my name is Esther Kalu. To stay safe.
And I am Sarah Owusu-Ansah. Have a fantastic Monday.